SkywayTj, and today I thought I'd do a fun little video where I give you my top 10 horror movies of 2019. Horror is one of my favorite genres of movies, and a lot of them came out in 2019, and some of them were duds, some of them were really good. So I'm just going to give you my top 10 favorites of the year, and yeah, if you guys like this type of content, please drop that like and subscribe for more. I'm going to make videos like this all throughout December. From now on, 2020 is going to be full of videos. So yeah, guys, if you really like movie talk, pop culture news, please subscribe to SkywayTj. Alright, let's get into the top 10 horror movies of 2019. Let me just preface this by telling you that these are opinions. You don't have to take them as factual evidence or whatever. You can have a different list than mine. It's okay. It's just, you know, don't kill me if your favorite horror movie wasn't on this list. I'm just gonna put it out there. If you do, you could tell me your top 10 in the comments. I never get any comments, but if you want to give me your top 10, you know, I wouldn't be opposed. So, starting off the list at number 10, I have Escape Room. Now, this movie came out in the very beginning of the year, which is always hit or miss for horror movies, because, like, January is usually when studios put out, like, the worst movies. Don't know why. But yeah, Escape Room is basically like Saw, and Saw is like one of, if not my favorite horror franchise of all time. So, you know, I couldn't not put Escape Room on here. I really liked it. The only problem I had with it is that it's sequel baited, which I know a lot of like these horror films kind of do, but this one like really dropped like the biggest sequel bait of all time. Like, they really wanted a sequel, and I think it's getting one, which, that's fine. I don't want horror movies to end on like, oh, we're gonna go find the guy who did this to us, and then it shows the guy setting up a new escape room. You know, it's a bit corny, but whatever. I really like the escape room. I like the actors in it, and I like the different rooms that they had to escape from, and I just thought it was an interesting premise for a horror movie, and I'm excited to see what this franchise does in the future. At number 9, I have Annabelle Comes Home. Now, I'm a big fan of the Conjuring universe movies, and, you know, some of them lately have been crap. Like, the first Annabelle movie, just Annabelle, I did not like at all. I thought it was really bad. And then they had Annabelle Creation, which I thought was the best of the Annabelle films. And then you have Annabelle Comes Home. And this one's good, but it's just not as good as Annabelle Creation. It's better than The Curse of La Llorona by far. Those were the two Conjuring films that came out this year. But the Conjuring, like the actual Conjuring movies themselves, are my favorites. So yeah, I really like this one. I like that it was all like contained in like one area. It came home to the Warrens' actual place of residence. And you know that place would be haunted because there's all kinds of fucking relics in there. So yeah, I really liked Annabelle Comes Home, not as much as some other horror movies that came out this year, but I still think it's worthy of talking about. And yeah, I know a lot of people didn't like this one because I think everyone's just kind of sick of Annabelle. I hope this is the last one because I think a trilogy is perfect and they should just stop with the haunted doll crap. But I think this was pretty good, pretty fun to watch, and I really like the acting in it. So, number 9, Annabelle Comes Home. At number 8, I have Ma, and it shocked me to realize that a lot of my friends and people that I know don't like this movie. And which is fine, but like, I guess I'm just in the minority here, but I really enjoyed Octavia Spencer's performance. I liked her motivation for getting revenge on these kids who are the children of her old classmates who bullied her. I really liked that. Yeah, some of the visuals were a bit creepy. I believe in one scene, she holds this dude's dick and threatens to cut it off, which was a bit weird to see a schlong in the movie theater just on the big screen like that, but whatever. She does put dog's blood into his body at one point to kill him. Also a bit weird, but like, I just really enjoyed the movie. Octavia Spencer is one of my favorite actresses, so she did really well. And I thought the teen acting was pretty good, which, you know, it's always one way or another. You either really get a really good teen actor or you get a really bad one. So I thought the kids in this movie did a pretty damn good job, and yeah, so that's number 8, Ma. At number 7, I have Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I really like this movie. I was a bit worried because it's a book adaptation of short stories, But I think they really pulled it all together really well. Again, the acting in it is pretty damn good. And I'm pretty sure it's getting a sequel too, because I think there's 3 books in the Scary Stories franchise. And, you know, I thought some of the visuals in this movie were scary as hell. I don't know what that woman's called, but there's like this big fat woman with like no face, and she at one point like absorbs one of the kids like into her stomach. I don't know. It creeped the hell out of me. I had nightmares about that girl. She's terrifying. But yeah, I really enjoyed Scary Stories. I almost didn't see it because I didn't have enough time, but I managed to sneak it in. And yeah, that's why I put Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark at number 7. At number 6, I have The Prodigy. I almost forgot this movie came out this year because it came out like way in the beginning of the year. But I remember loving this movie when I first watched it. It's so creepy. I really love the kid actor in this one. I think he killed it. If you don't remember, I think this is the one where the kid is born on at the same time as a serial killer dies, and the serial killer spirit goes into the kid as he's born, and he can't rest until he finishes the job he was going to do as a serial killer, which is like cut off some girl's hand or foot or something. I don't exactly remember. But yeah, it's really, really creepy. It's really good. The kid being possessed by a different spirit is very, very interesting to me. And yeah, I just really remember enjoying this movie. So at number 6, I have The Prodigy. Kicking off the top 5, we have It Chapter 2. I'll be honest with you, I was fully expecting It Chapter 2 to be the number 1 horror movie of the year because of all the hype that went behind it, how good the first It was. But I think the problem with this one is that it's too long. Yeah, longer movies can work sometimes, like Avengers Endgame, but even Endgame, you know, certain points dragged. In It Chapter 2, I don't know, like, the problem with it is that, like, there's a whole, like, hour dedicated to each actor going around and getting a different relic to take on It and the Ritual of Chud. But I think the glory and what made It Chapter 1 so good was that the kids were always together and, like, they could build the chemistry off one another. In It Chapter 2, they don't really get together. They get together to meet up to discuss what they're going to do. Then they split apart for an hour, and then they all get back together again. So yeah, that's just like the main reason it's not higher up on the list. It's not as good as It Chapter 1 because I think the kid actors' chemistry was a bit better. But I will say It Chapter 2 has some of the best casting in film history. Those kids, or the adult actors, look very, very, very much like the kid actors. And whoever did the casting for this movie is amazing. I especially want to give credit to Bill Hader and Jessica Chastain. And the good dude who played Bill, it's going to kill me. I know his name. Don't James McAvoy. They all did killer in the roles. So yeah, that's why It Chapter 2 is at 5 and not at number 1. I'm sorry. It's still a good movie, but I just think it could have been a bit better. At number 4, I have Greta. Now, I don't know if a lot of people saw this movie, but I did, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's a pretty basic story. This girl who just moves to New York gets close to an older woman who she finds her bag on a subway, and the older woman turns out to be a bit unhinged, kidnaps her at one point, and like locks her in a room because she's trying to replace her daughter. It's basically the basic premise. I thought it was a really good, like, suspenseful psychological horror movie. And I don't even know if a lot of people saw it, but I think Greta is, like, amazing. And Chloe Grace Moretz, fantastic in this movie. If you haven't seen Greta, I would check it out. I really enjoyed it, but that's why it's at number 4. At number 3, I have Ready or Not. I love when they combine horror with comedy, and this movie is full of that. Black comedy is hilarious to me. The basic premise, if you don't remember, is that a woman is getting married into a family, and at the wedding night they all have to play a game, but if you pull the hide and seek card, then they have to kill you and sacrifice you because they think if they don't do it they're going to get punished in some way. And throughout the movie it's just super funny. The lead actress is hilarious. The way they just casually kill people without repercussion. Like, they kill all 3 maids at one point by accident, and it's always hilarious the whole time. Really funny, really good ending. I like that they just stuck to the ridiculousness of it, because, you know, everyone thinks this family is just full of, like, crap and they're crazy and that nothing's gonna happen to them. But when they fail to kill the main actress, they all explode. And when I saw it in the theater the first time, I had no idea, and they all exploded, and I busted out laughing. All my friends started laughing. It was really, 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 really funny, and I think that's why I enjoyed Ready or Not so much. So that's why it's number 3. At number 2, I have a movie I never thought I would see. I didn't even think I was gonna like it that much, but it turns out it's like, it has such iconic imagery, and I can't stop thinking about it at some points. Is Midsommar. This movie is weird as hell, but it's so interesting and good to watch. I know a lot of people didn't enjoy it because some of the visuals are very disgusting, but I really enjoyed it. I like the premise of this group of college students, not teens, sorry, going off to a foreign country with their foreign exchange friend, and it turns out that it's just a whole thing for people to get sacrificed. There's the whole emotionally distant boyfriend thing, and I just really, really enjoyed it. And I like how they, like, paint a picture of what's going to happen on that big tapestry in the beginning, and it doesn't come full circle till the very end. Really enjoyed that. You know, there's weird scenes in it, like where the boyfriend is cheating on his girlfriend with one of the village girls, and they're circled by a group of naked old women, and at one point one of the naked old women get behind the dude to help his stroke game by pushing on his butt cheeks, and then when he finds out he's been caught, he runs around outside naked with his dick flopping around. I'm sorry, but I don't know, if you want to watch a weird horror movie that'll actually, like, stick with you, I would check out Midsommar. And I don't know, I'm sorry, I really liked it. I know a lot of people are iffy about this, but it's my list, so step back. I'm sorry, but yeah, Midsommar, number 2. And taking the number 1 spot for best horror movie of 2019 is Us by Jordan Peele. The acting in this movie is superb. Great casting. Great, great, great. I don't think it's as good as Get Out by Jordan Peele's first horror flick, but Us is really, really good. It has a very good soundtrack. That I Got 5 on It remix is very good for marketing. I really enjoyed that. I love this premise, the whole doppelganger thing and the symbolism behind that, and I just really liked it. I think Lupita Nyong'o is fantastic, and she should be in way more things. So yeah, I'm sure you've seen Us. If you haven't, you should really check it out. It's a great, great horror movie that has a lot of symbolism behind it about Americans, poverty, how we treat people of different races, stuff like that. But it's also a great, great horror film with a good plot. So if you haven't checked out Us, I would really, 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 really recommend it. And that's why it took the number 1 spot for me. Well, guys, that's been the top 10 horror movies of 2019. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please, please, please drop that like and subscribe for more. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see for the wrap-up of the year. We got the top 10 best movies of 2019 coming soon. Top 10 worst. Top 10 disappointments. Top 10 biggest surprises. Stuff like that. I'm also thinking about making, like, top 10 comedies, animated movies. All kinds of stuff for the end of the year. We're going to have a year in review. All that's coming soon, so if you guys really, really, really would like to support me, I would appreciate it forever if you could drop that like and subscribe. It really, really helps. 2020 is going to be a year full of videos, so I hope you stay tuned. So yeah, I'll be back soon with more videos. Please be kind to one another, and check out these 10 movies if you haven't seen any of them. They're really, really good. Alright guys, see you next time. Bye.